So according to this article from the New York Post, there's a crazy trend going on in the year 2023. They're saying older men marrying or having children with younger women is a crazy phenomenon that's just the first time it's ever happened.
It's just happening now.
It's just happening
I can't believe it.
Who would have thought about it?
For the first time. You're telling me this for the first time.
I love the start of this article, though. It says, micro mini skirts, baggy jeans, and old men marrying or having children with women far younger than them are the most significant trends of 2023. Well, the baggy jeans should be gone, too.
Well, they clearly
the baggy
don't
jeans
like
is
it.
the 90s. Micro minis are from the 60s.
This says the famous
And men marrying really young women is from millennia ago.
Omnipresent.
Yes.
It never goes away.
Famous men in droves hooking up with women half their age need to be stopped and rejected like a pair of skinny jeans being ignored in your wardrobe.
Well, until those men don't have a lot of money, you're not going to do that.
Such a first world article, though, because I saw a video today of a 10-year-old girl being married off to a 30-year-old man, and they were in some...
Where was this?
They were in a Muslim country. I forget which one. I have the video.
Makes sense.
Here is the picture that we used for the thumbnail for today. It's really, really funny of
Al Pacino.
a spry-looking Al Pacino.
Just stumbling down the street, not really sure where he is, and his 29-year-old girlfriend, Noor Al-Falah, is standing behind him, calculating her next move.
She looks really into him. She does.
Yeah.
She looks like...
And by the way, she was in the news earlier this year because she is going to be inheriting Al Pacino's entire fortune.
And she's not a gold digger because she comes from money. She comes from family wealth.
Well, it's more so thinking about how can I continue
my family
legacy.
How can I grow my family wealth?
Yes.
Legacy, yep.
So, and then also they brought up Dane Cook, who is 51, marrying Kelsey Taylor, who is 24.
Yeah,
that story was weird.
The dates aren't dating on that one, ladies and gentlemen. They were definitely...
The timeline seems to be that they met when she was 17 through family friends and was still in high school at the time.
I think the G word would come up for that one.
Oh, you think so?
I think
that rhymes with brooming.
Yeah, I do. A lot of people were like, have you ever seen those videos where it's like somebody makes a video like this, like, I'm this old and I'm this old and we've been together for this long, and then it cuts to somebody who's like...
I think that the super old men who get with the young women are just coming to terms with the fact, like being honest with themselves about the fact that they won't be loved for who they truly are.
Yeah,
that they will get companionship through other means.
Yes.
By giving her an allowance.
Yeah.
And if they're okay with that, then fine.
Yeah, he gets to look at her and she gets to spend his money.
But just don't deny that it's a transactional relationship, right? Like, I find it hard to believe that a woman in her 20s is attracted to a guy in his 80s.
There's an episode of the show Las Vegas where this guy, he's like worth $1 gazillion and he's like 80 years old and he's got a wife, or he's got a girlfriend who's just about to marry in Vegas. That's the whole theme of the episode. And she's like 20 or 21. And like the guy who runs the casino, James Caan's character, is like, kind of pulls him aside at the end. He's like, she's just kind of using you for your money. He goes, oh yeah, I know. I'm leaving all my money to charity. Like, the point being that, like, she's shallow, I'm shallow. It's a match made in heaven.
Right.
Yeah.
That's usually the conclusion that I come to with these age gap relationships that are, especially the ones that are public.
Yeah. Like
among Hollywood men. They're not really offering examples of this happening in the real world.
I mean, there's
normies.
probably way more examples of this in the world of wealth, just not in Hollywood, right? Financiers, people who have a lot of money but aren't public figures.
Well, the only place I think that the older man marrying the younger woman is really a problem is when she's underage and she's being sold off.
Otherwise, just
and that has happened
that
in
happens
the U.S.
plenty. Yeah, I mean, the
like
child
Courtney
bride
Stodden
issue. Yeah,
Courtney Stodden. We talked about her before because she got married at 16 to a
was
man in a wheelchair. So that was definitely.
I mean, otherwise, if everyone's an
gross.
adult, like,
he in a wheelchair
I
when
might
they
think
got
it's
married?
gross, but it's, you know.
Yeah, he was like super old. I think that in their wedding photos, he was wheelchair bound.
Okay, but he was an actor. He was an actor before that, and because he was on the X-Files in some episodes.
David Arquette?
No, not David Arquette. That's Courtney. That's Courtney Cox. that married David Arquette.
Okay, I'm talking about Courtney Stodden.
She married, what was his name? I have to look it up.
Doug Hutchison.
Yes, that's
Doug
who it was. Yes,
Hudson.
that's who it was.
Yeah,
Yep.
they got married when she was 16 and he was 50.
But he was an actor.
Yeah. And
Or
then
like the Great
obviously
Balls of
like
Fire guy.
she later on talked about how she was like trapped and manipulated into doing that.
Yeah, he was a successful actor too. He wasn't just a flash in the pan. He was in a bunch of stuff, and it just never seemed to be a thing that people cared about back in the day because there was no. He played Toombs on the X-Files, so that was just one of those things that back in the day there wouldn't have been a bunch of articles written about it, so nobody would have known. Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, there are a bunch of articles talking about a recent public breakup in an age gap relationship with Dave Portnoy, the president or El Presidente of Barstool Sports.
I don't think this guy was in a wheelchair though. I don't think he was in a wheelchair.
I don't know if it's that important.
Oh, sorry. my brain.
And Dave Portnoy's girlfriend was named Silvana Mojica, I believe. So she is 28. Dave Portnoy is 46. And when they met, she was 25. He was 43. A guy who's 43 is about as developed mentally as he's going to be at 46. But I feel like in your 20s, your values and beliefs can change a lot. So between 25 and 28, there's this huge transformation that happens in a lot of women where their priorities change. Yeah. And they decide that having kids and being married is the most important thing to them. So Dave Portnoy broke up with this woman, and a lot of people were talking about, what could have been the cause of this? Was there cheating? Was there something going on where that Dave Portnoy would be to blame? But then when he spoke about it on the BFFs podcast, he said it was actually because he realized that he couldn't give her what she wanted. She wanted within the next 10 years for them to be married and start a family. Yeah. And he was just being honest with himself that that's not what he wanted out of life. Mm-hmm. Like, he's obviously super hardworking, is almost addicted to working. And for a portion of their relationship, he was kind of retired because he didn't own Barstool at that point.
He's like, I've got so many pizza places that I have to check in the next 20 years.
He has so much pizza to try.
There's so much pizza to be eaten.
Can't take any time at home. So he broke up with her right before Thanksgiving when, the family would be coming over, started asking questions.
I just want to say that
questions you don't want to answer.
Whether right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving, neither is a good answer.
No.
They're both bad.
No. And I do feel bad for the girl because she made this TikTok announcing their breakup, showing all of these love cards that she was going to give to him. Like, imagine making all of these cards and then getting broken up with the week before Thanksgiving. But yeah, like, I guess a lot of people were praising him because this is something not a lot of guys can bring themselves to do. They just want to kind of waste someone's time, lead the girl on, saying, yeah, I'll change. We'll definitely get married in the next, 5, 10, 15 years and just keep on stringing her along. But he seems to have done the right thing here by setting her free so that she can find someone that wants the same things as her.
I don't know what else he was supposed to do in this situation.
But then again, it's like 3 years and that never came up.
COVID year doesn't count. That was like temporary insanity.
They got together in 2021.
So I mean, still technically COVID, end of COVID.
I don't know.
When did he retire?
How do you have a 3-year-long relationship and that subject just never is brought up?
Don't know.
The way that dating is so like superficial now is just shocking.
Well, also he's probably at work 24/7. Like, they probably never had time to have this conversation because the dude's always working and they're always doing stuff. And 3 years sucks, but this could have gone on way longer with the exact same outcome, which would have been way worse. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I don't know what, like, unless this is something where on day one she broached the conversation. It's like, I absolutely want this within this period of time, and he just led her on for 3 years. I imagine that he was, it's pretty easy to lie to yourself for a couple of years, especially if you really like a person, thinking that you or they may change. and that's not always the case. I always tend to take these situations. I don't think anybody's 100% the good guy or 100% the bad guy. I think humans make it very easy to lie to themselves when emotions get involved.
Yeah. Well, this relationship also did make a lot of women like Dave Portnoy for once.
Really? Yeah.
She changed the public opinion of him, at least so that more females would find him to be like appealing as a public figure.
Yeah.
And then immediately once it was found out that they broke up, all of these women were like, no matter what happened, he's to blame. He's evil. He's Satan. And then when he talked about it, they were like, oh shit, we were wrong. He actually did the right thing. That, you know, a lot of women complain about this these days, that they're guys wasting their time.
Plus, this lady posted the video of her with like the notes or whatever. Women love to post their L's, man. Why is that?
Yeah, we were talking about this.
No dude is posting. Like,
do you have a theory why women post their L's so much?
I don't know because I don't think I would do that.
I don't either.
But
I think that would make me feel really. Which women? Like, I guess these women.
We talk about this all the time.
Women make TikToks where they're doing their makeup or they're something, whatever. They tell a horrific story of this toxic relationship or this heartbreak that they went through or trauma.
Oh, and then they turn into somebody completely different. You know what I mean? Like when they put on the makeup and it's like you look one way and then you get transformed. Those videos creep me out.
That's not the only one. Okay, so Leslie Jones saying that, right? Was it Leslie? Who was the
Leslie
one
Jones?
Leslie Jones,
the comedian
who said men can't get hard for her.
I wouldn't go on social media and say that.
Yeah,
and she's claiming that this is a societal problem.
It's society's fault.
Society-wide problem, and all women are secretly thinking about this.
Yeah, like no, you're just kind of fat and unattractive, and that's. But why?
She just hasn't met the one yet.
I guess, right? But like, I just wonder why it's this weird cultural phenomenon where the women will post their L's and the men definitely like. I feel like the more natural reaction is to hide the L, not post the L.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that would be my view.
Like, I'm not looking to. I've got plenty of things in my life that I would gladly never share with anyone. Right? I think we all do.
Well, I was just theorizing it's because women don't have a knitting circle anymore, so they need to commiserate with each other on social media.
But why don't you just, don't you call your friend? Like, I have friends that I will call and I'll be like, you have no idea what just happened, blah, blah.
Something weird that Gen Z does is they'll sit on FaceTime calls for hours and hours, not like they don't actually talk to the person on the other end. They're just going about their day on a FaceTime call with someone.
That sounds like hell.
I don't understand it at all, but this is a specifically Gen Z phenomenon.
It's like a constant companion. Yeah. My son does that while he's playing video games. He just sits there with his friend and FaceTime, and they don't really talk, but they do play video games, and so they'll talk about the video game now and then. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a Discord thing, but he doesn't use Discord, I guess.
I don't. Sometimes they use Discord. It depends on the friend. Like, they all have different things.
Somebody says, like what, Brett? What? I'm not telling you my L's. I'm going to keep the L's.
No, keep it to yourself.
You keep it and you bury it deep down there in the heart. And you suppress it, and it fuels you to keep going rather than sharing it with everyone. Stupid.
Yeah.
As for the young women who are going after these older men, I think they should at least go for a handsome one. I mean, if he's going to be, like, you're considering him to be a walking wallet for you.
He should be a cute walking wallet.
He should be a cute walking wallet. And I think these are mutually beneficial, but also mutually dehumanizing relationships. They're just based on a transaction.
Also, like, you have this article about the Portnoy thing, and if you scroll through, it's all these men who leave the girl for, like, some younger girl. And the younger girl always looks just like the older girl, except a little younger.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you have a type.
Yeah.
Fine. It's weird.
TV show that I was watching where this guy talks about, like, he leaves the wife every 5 years. He divorces them and they get something in the sale. And he goes, so he wasn't so much marrying them as leasing them.
Right.
He was leasing them for 5 years at a time until he moves on to the next younger model.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's a classic thing.
And for
my grandfathers did that.
If you got the money and you can afford to do it, the bug is still.
I'm gonna try
terrorizing us. But the women who go after like Leonardo DiCaprio, those are like PR relationships. They get something out of it.
Yeah.
He gets something out of it.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.